can start to dive into this season with this little poem of a forgotten poet of the 18th century that I found in this poetry collection book of 1778-1777, which celebrates the beauty and the magic of spring. Though I love winter, I like the energy of spring and the bright colors, the long sunny days. We can invite spring in our home, adding freshly cut flowers, following an advice from the 18th century aristocrat ladies who like to embellish their apartments and their home with flowers. And we are going to see where I found this advice. So I was inspired to bring more flowers to my home following these pages from the first volume of the memoirs of La Duchesse d'Abrantès, who I mentioned already many times in my videos if you have followed me for a while. Her mother was a very good friend of Napoleon's mother. So she talks in these pages about the nostalgia of the comfort and the high quality of the lifestyle in the aristocratic society of the Louis XV era, so before Marie Antoinette. Perfumes were everywhere, the most precious laces for each season. Apartments were fresh, well ventilated and fragrant with freshly cut flowers in summer and warm in winter with Aubusson thick carpets. The silverware, the porcelain, the linen, all that was so much more convenient and well made than now, and made for those who knew how to use it. My opinion gets approved every day. Everything from the past century, which means the 18th century, comes back in trend. We pretend we have simplified everything. Each thing is now affordable for everyone or every wallet. In a way, it is true. My grocer will have muslin curtains and his wife a similar silk coat than ours, but the silk is now so thin and so cheap that anybody can buy it. But the silk keeps nobody warm. I also wanted to change a bit my entrance hall to make it more magical, more inviting. I have moved the big unicorn, which I had created for the big fairy tale home decor workshop a few years ago, and so far she has always been in the living room in my big portrait collection wall. And I thought it was time to change and to find a new place for her, and really to try to make this entrance hall a bit more playful and more surprising for the visitors and the guests. She can even have some umbrellas, not too many objects, but at least she can hold 2 umbrellas. I also fetched a few spring flowers to brighten a bit the windows boxes of the studio, which were quite empty and bare. And as I have removed the unicorn, I took advantage of this time to reorganize a bit the collection of portraits, which was really messy, not even symmetrical, but in completely messy order. But I think it's going to work better this way. And the little mirror, I had received it for Christmas, and I think it works well in the center. I think it's just better now. It's more organized. There are still empty spaces, but they're going to be filled little by little as I found new portraits. I also hung Napoleon's son, who was not on the wall yet, so now he's not too far from his daddy and his grandmother, who is on the left of the collection. And as spring is the season of changes, of new energy, it's also the season of home renovation. And I'm at last tackling the kitchen, which is the room in my home you have never seen, because it was storing mess and clutter these past 5 years. I only used it to store mess. I finished my 3 coats of paint on the ceiling, and it was quite a big task because it's a very high ceiling and I couldn't access every corner very easily, but I've done it. And now this week I'm finishing the paint on the few walls and all the pipes, all the corners, all the places which need to be painted. And then next week, hopefully, I will start the wallpaper. And I have a hat because I needed to protect my hair, of course, from the ceiling paint. Let me know what you thought of La Duchesse d'Abrantes' thoughts about the evolution of decor, the democratization, if we can say that, of the materials, the furniture, and the things which were before the revolution and before the late 18th century only available for more wealthy people. I don't know, I think it resonates a lot with our time, with how everything is for everyone and how everything is super bad quality everywhere. So it's interesting also because I have read La Duchesse a lot. I'm studying a lot the life also of Alexandre Duty, our aristocrat who was from the same era, but he was 20 years older than my Duchesse, and also Madame d'Aulnoy, the fairy tale storyteller of the 17th century, who was also an aristocrat and even with even stronger values maybe than Alexandre Duty or La Duchesse. It's interesting to compare at each time, each century. She's more from the 19th, Alexandre Duty is more from the 18th, and Madame d'Aulnoy from the 17th, and how all the values of nobility, what should be accessible only to people who really value these things, like what you say, La Duchesse, like all these things that we knew how to use and to appreciate and all that, and how all these bourgeois, these newly rich people or people who have recently upgraded their life or that, how they have zero interest for that, they don't understand how these things work. It's probably not something our modern time will value when she say that equality doesn't exist. So everybody has their opinion about that, but I think about decor, about clothes, about all that, we can say that I think she's pretty right, and she saw how things would evolve in our time now, when it's even worse than when she lived, when at least they could have a coat made in silk and not in this horrible fabric we have. So I don't know, it's interesting, food for thought, I thought. A bit different than all the things we hear every day. And today, March 15th, so a bit later today at midnight Paris time, the Shoe House Workshop closed its doors till next year. So just in case you wanted to join this workshop, you have a few hours left to join if you are watching this video in another year, other month, much later in the future. It's fine, maybe you can join another one if you're interested. Just know you can have all the information you want to know and replies to your questions on my website, learnthemagicofpaper.com. I will share with you a little later in March all the projects, all the things I'm working on in the studio right now, including the White Cat project, which I'm going to come back into more detail soon. And of course the video about the renovation of the kitchen. We will see how it goes. My plan is to have finished the walls completely by the end of March. I finished the ceiling already. And it was a good thing because it was a lot of bothering work, but I did it. I hope you are enjoying spring so far. You are adding some freshly cut flowers, imitating the noble ladies from the mid-18th century who were adding a lot of fragrance flowers in their home in spring and summer. And for now, I leave you here and I hope to see you very soon.